What's up, everyone? It's your boy Keon Mr. Rock Johnson here with my first ever car review. And today, in case you couldn't tell by the intro and by the name of the video, I'm reviewing the 2015 Ford Ecoboost Mustang. Big shout out and thanks to homeboy DeCarlo for allowing me to review his car. Alright, so to start off, your seating position in this car is, it's pretty cool. The seats in this car they do hold you, like this isn't too much side bolstering, but then again it's also not too little, and it kind of hugs you, and I like that. Then you have your hood and your visibility. It's not too bad or anything like that. I can still see completely around me and everything. The hood kind of goes and then it just like drops off, and I can see and everything. It's kind of wide, but what do you expect from a Mustang? But visibility is pretty good, and so far as headroom and everything, it's nice. But let's be honest, if you are watching this review right now, you're not watching it for all that kind of basic stuff. You're here to really see what this Mustang is about, because this Mustang is not stock. It has a stage 1 Cobb tune on it, a Catless Downpipe, Mbrp, I hope I'm saying that right, but Mbrp racing catback exhaust system, and a Boomba, I think I'm saying it right, I'm just butchering the shit out of all this, blow-off valve. And let me say, when you get on it, it sounds so good. Like, I'll do a pull for you real fast. Sounded so good. In the words of that dude in blue, smiles per gallon right there. So let me go to all the engine specs and everything. This car comes stock with a 4-cylinder, and it's a 2.5 liter Ecoboost engine and everything, which is an engine that was made between a partnership of Mazda and Ford. Now, sorry, the spool, it caught me. But yeah, back to what I was saying. It comes with a twin scroll turbo and a full aluminum engine that gives off 310 horsepower. Hello, Cobb. That gives off about 310 horsepower stock and 320 pound-feet of torque. Pound-feet of boost. Turbo engines just have your cars like whoosh. But anyway, pound-feet of torque. Now, with the tune and everything, I don't know how much more horsepower this car has, especially with some of the modifications. But let me start off by saying this thing is quick. Now, boost doesn't kick in automatically. It takes a little bit. Oh my god, I love that turbo whoosh. But anyway, it kicks in like maybe about 3 seconds after you put your foot on the gas. Well, not even that, excuse me. It's more like 2 seconds after you like put your foot all the way down and everything. But this car still feels amazing. And I probably should have talked about the elephant in the room. Sorry about the lighting right now. I probably should have talked about the elephant in the room, because I'm pretty sure you didn't see my arm doing anything. But this car is an automatic. Now, before you turn off the video and say, oh, that's terrible, yada yada yada, okay, hear me out. So when DeCarlo bought this car and everything, he wanted the 5.0. They didn't have it, and he was pretty much he pretty much dealt the cards that he was given. And if you ask me, This car is not a bad car at all. I am personally
phone disconnected.
Loving this. Okay, I'm personally loving this thing. Now, here's the thing though. Driving this, I'm not getting that muscle car feel. This to me is not a muscle car. This is not the Mustang that, you know, Ford wants it to be, or, you know, any enthusiast wants it to be. This is not that straight line crazy car, okay? Even though this does have a good, you know, straight line speed and everything with that pull that I did, it's just not there. If you think about driving this, you know, buying this car and everything, you should go into it seeing it as a Hyundai Genesis or something like that. So far as you going into it with it being, you know, a muscle car, it's not that. This is not a muscle car. This is Ford's version of a 4-cylinder turbo, you know, tuner car. By any means, that's not bad or anything, but yeah. So now, going into the suspension. I'm on a back road now, and this is my first time driving this, like, you know, any kind of windy roads or anything. And this is a windy road I've driven plenty of times in some of my other videos in my FRS. But let me start by saying, this car is great, but it's comparing it to the FRS, it's not fully there with the handling. I mean, we are still on stock tires, stock wheels, and stock suspension, but it's kind of a boat. I'm gonna be honest, it's kind of still a little bit of a boat. You know, there is a good amount of body roll. It's not as much as what you would think, you know, this car would have, but there is a good amount of body roll. But I mean, it still feels good though. The brakes are pretty good on this car. That is one thing. These brakes are really good. I mean, it's not like I'm doing crazy spirited driving right now, but you know, some brakes, they feel like they're gonna fade on you. I'm not getting this feeling with these brakes at all. Now, so far as steering response, as I go to, you know, turn on this road real quick, it's not as, you know, engaging as the FRS. I mean, it has a little bit of play in it, but it still has a lot of feel to it. All right, sorry about the lighting, but after driving this car a little bit more, I understand it so much more now. So far as, you know, the horsepower and everything, it's there, but this car doesn't give me as much confidence in turns to go in like a lamb and, you know, come out like a lion. So like basically, so comparing it to my FRS, for example, I can go into a turn and have full confidence in me, you know, powering out and just having a damn good time in the corners. And even though I said this doesn't feel like a muscle car, this still has those muscle car tendencies, even though it doesn't have, you know, the muscle car essence to back it up. This is by far definitely a straight line car, but that's okay because, you know, that's what you would expect from people who would buy a Mustang. I mean, it is what it is. Now, hitting on something that I should have talked about earlier, the paddle shifters. They are pretty responsive. Not as responsive as, you know, my FRS, let's say. Oh, I love that sound. But I mean, it's still pretty good. Oh shit. That was fun. That was fun. Okay, The perfect. Okay, all right. Let me digress real quick. So, if you want to know what you should be looking for when you buy this car, the 2015 Ecoboost Mustang. Now, granted, it does have modifications on it, so it is gonna have a different feel coming, you know, from the car, like coming from the. I can't even talk right now. Coming from the manufacturer, like stock and everything. But if you plan on taking this car out on some straight line, you know, roads, not doing a lot of back road driving or anything, by all means, get this car. Because if you want to talk about smiles, when you hit that, oh my gosh, and the sounds it makes, when you hit that straight line, it just gives you the biggest smile on your face. Honestly, in a straight line, it gives me the same smile that my FRS gives me when I'm going in and out of corners. And honestly, that says a lot because I love the way my FRS feels. And this Mustang feels so great and amazing. See, like, right now I'm on another back road, kinda, where it has a lot of straights, but, you know, some little curves here and there. That's okay. But, you know, the really windy roads, this is not made for. It's not made for really windy roads. This is made for exactly what DeCarlo does. Now, what he does, you know, he does take this car out and race it. But that's what this is made for. Like, don't get me wrong, I have raced my FRS, you know, but am I really doing it in my car? No. I mean, you can see that in some of my other videos on the channel. I drift that car because that car's made for drifting in corners and everything like that. This car is made for racing. Even though it doesn't have the big 5.0 motor, even though it doesn't, you know, have that big growling V8, honestly, if you tune this right, this can and will come out with more power off just a couple of tunes than the 5.0. If I'm not mistaken, this also will have more torque. And I can totally see how. This is a great car for it. Alright, so lasting impressions on the car. Basically, this car is like a Hyundai Genesis, you know, fighter, like that turbo, you know, kind of big 4-cylinder. It's not a cornering kind of car or anything like that, but nevertheless, it is a lot of fun. So if you have a lot of straight roads and not that many back roads in your town or country or something like that, and you want to buy a cheap and expensive sports car, get this. If not, don't. If you have a lot of back roads, do not get the Ecoboost Mustang or a muscle car, period. So that's pretty much my last impressions on it. As always, thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you had any questions about DeCarlo's Mustang, you can follow him there, or you can also just put a comment because I might be able to answer for you. Answer for you. But yeah, have a good day, stay positive, and stay classy.